Welcome back to Macro Money Talk, where we decode the legendary strategies of financial titans who dared to bet against the world. In the history of modern finance, one specific trade stands apart for its sheer audacity and the massive scale of its profit. This is the incredible story of how one man saw a disaster coming and turned it into $20 billion of pure profit. While the rest of the world lost everything in the housing crash, John Paulson executed a strategy that defied all conventional wisdom. To understand this massive win, we must go back to the early 2000s, when owning a home was the ultimate safe investment. From the year 2000 to 2006, real estate prices were not just rising. They were exploding beyond all historical norms. Banks were handing out money to everyone, as believing that house prices would never go down, creating a false sense of eternal security. But Paulson, a hedge fund manager who actually specialized in mergers, began to notice something strange hidden deep within the housing market data. He observed that housing prices were rising by 10% annually, far outpacing the sustainable historical average of just 3 to 5%. This disconnect between stagnant wages and skyrocketing home prices was the first red flag that signaled a massive bubble was about to burst. The market was driven by subprime lending, giving massive loans to borrowers who had absolutely no way to pay the money back. These were called ninja loans. No income, no job, and no assets. Yet banks were approving them without a second thought. Paulson was not a real estate expert, so he hired analyst Paolo Pellegrini to dig deeper into the complex data of these loans. But what Pellegrini found was shocking. The foundation of the US economy was built on loans that were destined to default very soon. Banks were bundling these toxic mortgages into complex financial products called CDOs, hiding the risk from investors under layers of confusing structure. Credit rating agencies were slapping AAA labels on these products, telling the world they were as safe as US government bonds. Paulson realized this was not just a market correction waiting to happen. It was a systemic lie that created a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He decided to bet against the housing market, a move that seemed insane to everyone else on Wall Street at that specific time. To execute this trade, Paulson used a financial instrument called credit default swaps, which functioned essentially like an insurance policy for bonds. Imagine buying fire insurance on your neighbor's house when you know for a fact that his house is about to burn down. Because nobody believed the housing market could fail, these insurance contracts were incredibly cheap to buy, offering huge potential returns for Paulson. Paulson instructed his team to buy protection on the worst possible mortgage bonds, specifically targeting the ones most likely to default first. They were building a massive short position, effectively betting their entire reputation and the fund's future on the collapse of the American dream. However, being right too early is the same as being wrong. And for a long time, the housing market kept going up. Paulson's fund was losing money paying the insurance premiums, and his investors were becoming furious, demanding he stop this crazy betting strategy. This is the hardest part of contrarian investing. maintaining your conviction when everyone around you is telling you that you are
We
an
are
idiot.
following breaking news
Then,
this
in
hour as
early
global markets react
2007,
to
the
unprecedented
cracks
bank
finally
losses.
began to appear
The
as
real estate sector
homeowners started
continues its
defaulting
sharp
on their
decline.
mortgage payments
Sell
in
everything,
record
it's dropping
numbers.
too fast.
The news started to report that major mortgage lenders were facing liquidity problems, and the value of those subprime bonds began to plummet. As the market collapsed, the value of Paulson's insurance contracts skyrocketed, turning his cheap bets into some of the most valuable assets. While the global economy was entering a recession, Paulson's fund was generating billions of dollars in profit in a matter of weeks. The giants of Wall Street were falling one by one, paying the price for their greed while Paulson stood on the winning side. By the end of 2007, his fund had made $15 billion, and Paulson personally pocketed nearly $4 billion. To put that in perspective, that is more than the combined earnings of J.K. Rowling, Oprah Winfrey, and Tiger Woods that year. The core lesson from this trade is not just about real estate. It is about the psychology of being a true contrarian. Yet it requires a deep confidence with standing alone and a rock-solid belief in your own researches, regardless of what the crowd thinks. Most investors follow the herd because it feels safe, but the greatest opportunities always lie where the crowd is afraid to go. Paulson did not get lucky. He outworked everyone else, analyzing data that others were too lazy or too arrogant to even look at. He read the prospectuses that bankers ignored. He questioned the ratings that everyone accepted. And he bet big when he found the truth. This is the essence of asymmetric investing. Risking a small amount of money for the potential to make a massive, life-changing fortune. The trade made him a legend, but it also serves as a warning about the fragility of financial systems built on false confidence. Markets are efficient most of the time, but when they break, they offer opportunities that can define a career for those who are prepared. For us today, the lesson is to always question the consensus and to never blindly trust the experts without doing our own research. Healthy skepticism and rigorous research
means facing
are
the
the
strongest
two most
currents
powerful
head-on,
tools in any
just
investor's
as the
toolkit,
sockeye battles
capable
its
of
way
revealing
upstream.
hidden truths in the market. It is never easy to swim against the current, but history shows us that the rewards for doing so can be absolutely astronomical. John Paulson's story is a testament to the power of independent thinking and the courage to act on your convictions despite the pressure. As we look at the markets today, we must ask ourselves, where are the bubbles forming, and what is the crowd ignoring right now? The next big opportunity is out there waiting for someone with the vision to see it and the courage to seize it. Whether it is real estate, tech stocks, or crypto, the principles of the greatest trade ever remain relevant for every single investor. Learning to identify the signs of irrational exuberance can save your portfolio from disaster and position you for life-changing wealth creation. Paulson's trade was not magic. It was the result of preparation, meeting opportunity, a formula that anyone can apply to their own life. The path to financial freedom is steep and difficult, but stories like this prove that the view from the top is worth it. Timing is everything, and Paulson mastered the art of patience, waiting for the perfect moments to strike when the odds were best. The institutions that seem invincible today could be the ones that collapse tomorrow if they are built on a foundation of bad debt. Keep your moral compass and your analytical compass steady, and you will navigate through the roughest financial storms with confidence and caution. Even after making billions, Paulson remained focused on the next opportunity, proving that the game of investing never truly ends for the greats. History repeats itself because human nature never changes. Greed and fear will always drive markets to extremes of highs and lows. Your job as an investor is to see the future before it happens, to spot the anomaly that everyone else is ignoring. Small insights can grow into massive fortunes if you have the courage to nurture them and protect them from the skeptics.
For the Shanghai
The
Composite.
tools of trading have changed since 2007, but the fundamental principles of value and risk remain exactly the same today. Today, algorithms dominate the market, but they cannot replace the human intuition and deep fundamental analysis that Paulson used to win. The best investors combine the speed of technology with the wisdom of experience to find the edges that machines might miss. Investing is a game of strategy, psychology, and probability. And John Paulson played a masterclass game that will be studied forever. Money flows from the impatient to the patient, and from the blind followers to the observant leaders who do their homework. Paulson's legacy is not just the money he made, but the way he exposed the flaws in a system everyone trusted blindly. The crisis changed the world forever, leading to new regulations and a permanent shift in how we view banks and ratings agencies. It shattered the illusion that experts always know best, teaching us that sometimes the emperor truly has no clothes at all. But from the ashes of the crisis, new opportunities emerged, proving that the market is a cycle of destruction and rebirth. Understanding where we are in this cycle is the key to protecting your wealth and growing it for the next generation. We must teach ourselves and our children to look beyond the headlines and understand the real mechanics of how money works. Knowledge is the only asset that cannot be taken away from you during a crash, and it is the source of all wealth. The more you learn, the more you earn. This old saying holds true, especially in the complex world of high finance. Let Paulson's strategy be a lighthouse for you and too, guiding your decisions when the waters of the economy get rough and dangerous. When all the pieces of the puzzle fit together, do not hesitate to act, even if you are the only one acting. The road less traveled is often lonely and scary, but it is the only road that leads to extraordinary financial results. You reap what you sow, and Paulson sowed the seeds of analysis and conviction long before he reaped the harvest of billions. Success is rarely a solo endeavor. Finding the right partners who share your vision and work ethic is crucial for execution. Don't just look at the big picture. Look at the microscopic details, because that is where the devil and the prophet are hiding. Build your investment thesis on a foundation of steel facts, and not on the sand of popular opinion or wishful thinking. Recognize the warning signs when the tide goes out, because that is when you can see who has been swimming naked. Every crash is followed by a recovery, and the wealth transfers that happen during these times are the largest in history. Document your thoughts, track your predictions, and learn from your mistakes to become a sharper, more disciplined investor. Over time, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Paulson waited years for his trade to work.
Patience is a finite
ultimate
but
gain.
essential
The
resource.
tension you feel before a big trade works out is natural. It is the energy required to propel you forward. The market is a battleground between bulls and bears, and the contrarian is the sniper waiting on the hill for the perfect shot. Prepare yourself mentally for the challenges of investing, because your biggest enemy is often your own emotions and lack of discipline. Let the data be your guide. Let logic be your compass. And let courage be the fuel that drives your investment journey. The key to wealth is not hidden. It is right there in the open, waiting for someone to pick it up. You have access to more information today than Paulson did in 2006, so you have no excuse not to succeed. Sharpen your mind, because in the information age, critical thinking is the most valuable currency you can possibly possess. Every day, the market opens is a new opportunity to apply these lessons and move one step closer to your financial goals. Understand the chain reactions in the economy, how one event triggers another, and you will be able to predict the future. Cultivate a calm mind, for panic destroys wealth, while clarity and calmness create it, even in the midst of a crisis. Protect your capital like a warrior protects his life, because once your capital is gone, you are out of the game. Think long-term, act with conviction, and let the power of compounding work its magic on your portfolio over the years. Oh, John Paulson showed us the way. Now it is up to you to walk the path and find your own greatest trade. The world is full of opportunities waiting to be discovered by those with the eyes to see and the courage to act. Open your eyes to the reality of the markets, ignore the noise, and trust in the data that you have analyzed yourself. Be willing to step into the unknown, for that is where the history is made and where the greatest fortunes are built. From the housing bubble to the credit freeze, we have seen how one man navigated the storm to achieve the impossible result. Remember his strategy, study his mindset, and apply his principles to your own journey towards financial independence and success. If you found value in this deep dive into financial history, please make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content. And join our growing community of smart investors who are dedicated to understanding the macro forces that shape our financial world. Hit the like button to help us spread this knowledge to more people who need to hear the truth about investing. Check out our other videos where we analyze other legendary investors and the strategies they use to conquer the markets. The story of finance is never ending.
This is fascinating.
And we are here to help you write your own successful chapter.
Check out this link for more info.
Keep the flame of curiosity
Where can I
alive.
find that?
I
Stay
gotcha.
hungry for knowledge and never stop questioning the narrative presented to you. The possibilities are limitless for those who are prepared, disciplined, and brave enough to take action when the time is right. Make your impact, create your ripples, and let your investments grow into a legacy that lasts for generations to come. Thank you for watching this episode and for spending your valuable time with us to learn about this incredible financial event. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more deep insights into the world of macroeconomics and money. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and we will see you in the next video with another fascinating story from the financial world. This has been Macro Money Talk, decoding the secrets of wealth, one story at a time. Goodbye and happy investing to everyone.